Hi everyone. Welcome to the Capstone class. So realistically, this class is a lot different than any class you've taken before. Um, Believe it or not, it's not really a class. It's more of a guided project. So really, this video is the going over the syllabus and class expectations, and yeah, I'm going to kind of talk about everything that's important for this class all in one. So, if you are watching this, if you are in the class, it means this is the end. You are at the end of the criminal justice program, you're at the end of the degree. When you are finished with this class, when you're finished with the final submission part of this assignment, as long as you pass it, you're done. So, that's the good news. That's the celebration. You've reached the end. There's not a whole lot really for me to go through. We'll talk about the syllabus because that's kind of what I want to do anyway. But I will let you know as far as the syllabus is concerned. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there, but it's all stuff you've already seen time and again. A lot of it doesn't really need to be gone over, so I'm going to kind of fly through a lot of the big things. So, first and foremost, you already know who I am because you've had classes here at some point. This is an all online asynchronous thing. This is literally just you and me, and we'll talk about what that looks like here in a minute. Apologies for the alarm. That is the alarm that my daughter needs a diaper change and feed, which I'll deal with here in a little bit. So our course meeting times, they're all online. My office hours currently for this semester is on Tuesday and Thursdays. I will be in the office from 11 o'clock until noon, and then I'll be back at around 4 o'clock for 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So there are 2 hours every Tuesday and Thursday that I am in my office and available. That doesn't mean those are the only times that I can be reached. Doesn't mean those are the only times I'm there. Those are just my dedicated office hours. Obviously, because this is a little bit different, if you need me, email me. We'll figure something out. My email, my office phone number, all that stuff is listed here. The course description is right from the course catalog. This is literally just, the end part of the program. This is the literal capstone, hence why it's called Capstone Project. Anyway, student learning objectives. The highlighted thing is not important for you all. What is important for me to say about what the highlight means is every semester courses are evaluated for their student learning objectives, their course learning objectives. This is the one that's being measured. We measure both of these to the same exact thing in this class, so it doesn't really matter. But the highlight is for my purpose, not for you. But there are really, I'll tell you right now, it says all readings will be available on Blackboard. There's only a couple handouts. There's nothing substantial reading. This is, again, not really a class like a typical class. There will be a couple lecture videos, but they're not like a traditional lecture. This is very different from what you've had and experienced at EC3 so far. Obviously, the only prerequisite is instructor consent because you got to be at the end of the program to be really in this class. Grading scale is the same as you've seen in every other class. So, whole class overall is worth 350 points. Here's all the points. That's why I said it's a capstone project. Each thing builds upon everything else. The final portfolio project worth 150 of those points, that's the culmination of everything else. So your portfolio is all of this and a couple other things that we'll talk about when we get there. Okay? So we'll talk about all these things as they come up. Don't worry too much. This is the standard kind of stuff that you've seen in the syllabi before, so I'm not going through it, but code of conduct, here's the link, attendance expectations, class cancellation, academic integrity, don't cheat, important dates, again, beginning of classes in the semester is, as of recording today, the 6th. Last day to drop is the 8th, with some amount of refund. Last day to withdraw is May 13th. The end of classes is May 29th, and June 5th is when final grades are due. I'll tell you right now, when you submit all of your stuff by Friday, May 29th, realistically, everything else should be graded in this class. It'll just be your portfolio, and it's a matter of me going through and making sure you have everything. So your final grades, while they won't be submitted to Workday until that Friday, they will likely be updated on Blackboard by the following Tuesday. Just being honest with you. Our incomplete policy is still here. ADA for accommodations, veteran services, student support, getting help with writing and tutoring. All these things are the same across the board. That's why I said we don't really need to dive into them, because if you're in this class, you have taken at least, I'd say, 10 other classes here at EC3. So you've seen these. The part that is important is this, the final part of the syllabus, the schedule. And this is where we're going to talk just a tiny bit. So we're 8 weeks. So I have all 8 weeks already mapped out and everything with our rough due dates. So week 1, talk about the syllabus. And then you see under classwork, the road so far and the road to come. So I will post a small lecture video so that you see kind of what those lecture videos will look like for the following weeks, okay? So there will be another video other than this on Blackboard for the portfolio, or for week 1, okay? So, homework, read through the syllabus, begin planning for the portfolio. And this is where I say, do not panic. What the portfolio is a just one large repository. It's a place that has information that you will need when you go to apply for jobs, when you are planning to apply for graduate schools or for continuing education for a 4-year degree. It's the things that you need to help plan for the future. That is all it is. This is not like a formal essay thing. You're not writing, your portfolio isn't an essay. Your portfolio is a collection of documents and things of that nature. Okay? Will you have some writing things in this class? Yes. But the portfolio is just gathering it all together. Okay? So, when you hear my little lecture on the road so far and the road to come, you'll start to understand what you need to start getting for that portfolio. Next week, so this first week, I want you just to start thinking about, what are those next steps? And so I guess my little tease for you all right now before we get into that lecture video is really, what do you want to do with this degree? You're at this point now, I would hope that you have an idea, but if not, what do you want to do when you graduate EC3? What do you want to do come fall, come summer? Come next year, what do you want to do? These are the things that you need to be thinking about. We try to push you to think about it earlier, but this is the time where I'm really making you think about it. And I ask you to be realistic. Anyway, next week is all about developing a portfolio. I'm going to go over all the guidelines, specifics, what a portfolio actually is, gathering your evidence or artifacts, and the general design. So legitimately, week 1 is just to get you starting to think about it. Next week is going to be when we go over in detail the assignment sheet, okay? So we'll go through what you actually have to do to earn those 150 points, all the things that you need, and we'll go through step by step, okay? Some things that we will talk about in the following weeks. So week 3, researching in criminal justice, general research guidelines, finding required experiences, learning, licensing, reflective learning. We're going to talk about all those things because it's important to understand what that looks like. You'll see that the week 3 assignment email list of requirements for career/job by end of week 3 and self-reflection essay due by 4/26. We will talk about all that stuff as we're in week 2 and week 3, okay? So you will have time to do this. All of these things like the self-reflection essay, they're not long papers. They're not crazy in-depth assignments. They're meant to be getting you ready and thinking about that next step. Week 4, career pathways. Week 5, developing attainable goals. Week 6, interviewing. Week 7, beyond EC3. And week 8, portfolio discussion and presentation. Now, please hear me when I say this. I do not mean presentation as in you are going to take your portfolio and present it to everyone else in the class. That's not what I mean by presentation. Believe it or not. What I mean by portfolio discussion and presentation is you submitting it to me and explaining a little bit about what your portfolio is about. That's it. It is not it's not a formal presentation. It is literally just, hey, this is what I plan on doing. This is what I have, and this is what I think is good. This is what I think, could use improvement, that kind of thing. That's all this is. Okay? That's it. That's the syllabus. As I said, this is a different class. This is not a traditional, here's your lecture video, here's the assignments, do these things, do this reading, and then, no. You've done all that already. Now it's a matter of, hey, I'm going to share with you some important things to think about that if you missed them in one of your other classes, I'm giving it to you here. But otherwise, it's okay. You are getting ready to go out into the world. What are you going to do with this? So, that being said, I'm excited that you're in this class. Everyone who has to take this or internship has had me in at least one class, so I at least know who you are in some capacity. You made it here because you made it here. You earned it. Let's see that next step. Let's see you thrive when you leave here. That's what this is all about. So I wish you luck. I'll be here for you the entire way. You have questions, email them. Do not wait. Anything that you are not sure on, the moment I make that assignment available to you, the moment I have something about it, if you are confused, you reach out to me. Because this is on you. Okay? All right. You have a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful week. I will see you in my short little lecture video. But otherwise, have a wonderful day.